Welcome to the Ingles table. I'm Deborah Adams. Today I'm making a loaf of olive and ham bread, and I'm going to show you how to make this savory treat to impress your friends. So let's get started. We begin with 3 eggs. We're going to crack those and put them in the bowl. And then we are going to whisk those, but we're going to make sure not whisk them long enough to make them foam. Just a minute. The first time I tried this was in France at an outdoor market. I'm adding 6 ounces of olive oil. People bake this bread and they use it. A lot of people like to have it for lunch with a salad in France. And it's good that way, or you can also use it as an appetizer. I'm adding about 8 ounces of cubed ham. You'll see people sitting out at sidewalk cafes having olive and ham loaf for lunch. I'm going to add about 5 ounces of dry white wine. And now I'm going to add our olives, and I need to drain the brine off those. And I use the whole jar. However, I don't cut all the olives in half, but I like to save some of them whole to kind of decorate your serving dish. But we're going to drain those. But do cut most of them in half. I'll use some whole ones also in the bread because when you cut it, sometimes you'll see a whole olive and it looks kind of pretty. Now I'm going to add the Gruyere cheese. I have shredded. It was about 4 ounces in the block. It comes to about half a cup. Stir that up. This is a real easy loaf of bread to bake. If you're a bread baker, you're going to appreciate how easy this is. Now I'm going to add a cup of all-purpose plain flour. We're going to sift it. We don't want any hard pieces of flour in there. Give it a little stir while you add the flour. And also we're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So I'm just going to throw that in on that flour. Add a little more to my sifter. And just sift that until you get all your flour in the bowl. Give that a stir. Getting a little messy, which is part of the fun of cooking. Especially if you're not the one having to clean up. Okay, here's the rest of our flour in there. And a little bit. Looks like we got some clumps in there. All right, that should do it. Mix this up. And I bake this in a regular loaf pan. I put parchment paper in the bottom. Make sure it doesn't stick. We're going to spray it with a little vegetable oil all around. Pop the paper in. Give it a little spray. And bake this in the oven for about 35 or 40 minutes at 350 degrees. And there we have it. We're going to pop this in the oven, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Okay, the olive and ham loaf is out of the oven. I've let it cool about 10 minutes. Now it did cook about 35 minutes at 350 degrees. So we're going to turn that out on a little serving plate and let me show you what it looks like. I'm going to put the plate on top and give it a flip. And there we have it. And it didn't stick. It looks prettier the other direction though. So let's flip it over. And I like to throw a few olives. Now you don't have to use green olives. You can use black olives. You can use whatever olives that you like in this loaf. You can use a variety of olives. But just be sure they're pitted because your family doesn't want to go to the dentist if they don't have to. So let me cut a slice and show you how it looks inside. You can see whole olives and you can see the little olives that have been cut up and chunks of ham. And that's about it. I want to thank you so much for joining me here at the Ingles table. Make sure to explore the rest of the site for more great tips, tricks, and recipes. I'll see you next time.